Hello, YouTube. Mid-Season 5 of Overwatch 2 was a patch that landed last week. It's been about a week and a bit. I've played the patch quite a lot, actually. I played a lot of games. This tier list is not going to be split between two ranks, which I normally do. A lot of times I do top 500, and then the other one is like everybody else. And this one's a lot more casual because it's my second channel. I'm only going to do what I've been seeing in ranked without overthinking it. I added a bunch of new tiers because I really do feel like in top 500, there's no hero that's truly like D tier where it's unplayable. My definition of C is like still like not bad, but like somewhat playable depending on the circumstances. So yeah, D is not a failing grade, guys. I got D's in school. I'm going to put Life Weaver in there though. Smile. In any case, let's begin with D.Va. I still think D.Va is like one of the top 4 most picked tanks. A little bit behind Winston now. Winston seems to be the number one in S tier right now, but I'll get to him in a moment. I'm gonna put D.Va either in A+ or A. Not sure which one I want to decide for. I can still like rearrange them later on, but I'm gonna put her in A+ for now. I still think D.Va's really, really good. She's like super popular. Doomfist. Doomfist is a C tier. Doomfist is hard to play in this current meta right now, strictly because Sombra is still really good, can hack him out of it. Hinder nade bothers them a lot. There's a few Doom mains that can still make him work in top 500 on at least on the NA ladder, but it feels like Doom is just the rough time, right? A lot of Ana's still being played. Lots of Ana Briggs. The enemy team is playing Ana Brig. Good luck diving that backline. You're gonna get slept, naded. You're gonna get bashed, booped. Doom is hard right now, so I'm gonna keep him in C. Drunker Queen. I think in the previous beginning of season 5, I put Queen up in A. Like, I didn't have an A+ tier. I had her in, oh no, I did have her in A+. I have my old tier 1 open. I'm actually gonna knock her down to A. Also, I still think Queen is pretty solid, but she's being picked a lot less. Arguably even B+ now in top 500. People play Queen for a bit, but then they just swap off because it's just between Winston, D.Va, and Ramatra. Those seem to be the 3 most popular ones for sure. Queen, maybe people are just like, they just want to play her just cause, but a lot of people are actually countering by playing Zarya when there's a good Queen as well. I'm gonna put her in B+ for now. Orisa, beginning of season 5, I had her in B. I thought she was underrated. She got buffed again this mid-season patch where her Fortify now gives her 50% damage reduction instead of 40. I actually think Orisa's pretty good again, especially after this mid-season 5 patch. I've seen more Orisas I have in the past week than I have in the past like 2 seasons. So I am gonna keep Orisa in B+ right now. Ramatra, I'm gonna put him in A+. So there's the change in mid-season 5 where his slow now passes through people. Like previously when you threw the vortex and it bounced off an enemy, it would take its time before it fell down and then pulled down. But with this change, I feel like I've been caught by Ramatra's vortex way more. Previously when he tried to throw it at me and it hit me, I would see it. I would have enough time to run away before it would bounce and land. Now I'm actually just getting like pulled down and getting punched out pretty easily. I actually think that buff was way better than people gave it credit for. The quality of life change in mid-season 5. I think Ram is still up here in A+. Reinhardt, I think I had him in B. In this current economy, I have not seen Rein do well at all in the past week and a half. Ramatra owns him. People just play Winston and jump past him. Echo is everywhere in top 500 in NA, and Rein does nothing against that. D.Va's a pretty decent swap into it to like at least annoy the Echo and eat some of the damage, but Rein feels kind of ass right now, so I'm gonna put him in C. Roadhog, D tier. Don't play Roadhog. Is there anything else to say? We're still waiting for his rework. We're gonna keep him in D tier. Sigma, still really good on the maps he's really good at. Like he's still a very, very solid hero, but you don't play him everywhere. You just play him on like those like 4 maps he's good on: Junkertown, Havana, Circuit. Tribali is a bit more flexible, but a lot of people play Sig there. I think for the sake of that, I'm gonna put him in A. I think he's just good where he's good, but you don't play him anywhere else. Okay, Winston, biggest winner in this patch. If you look at top 500 leaderboards, it's all Winstons right now. Winston is back on top as the S tier, top tier dive choice. Jump with Tracer Sombra, play it with Ana Brig. There's nothing. Winston is just, I don't know what to say. Winston Overwatch. Put him in S tier. Wrecking Ball. He's arguably C or B. I think Ball is still okay, but again, so much Sombra. People just flex the cast. There's a lot of Ana Brig again being played in the backline. I feel like Ana Brig kind of owns him. I sometimes play Baptiste and I DPS the Ball. I feel like Ball hasn't really bothered me in the past week. I've seen like a few ball players, but like they end up switching off. He's kind of like a pick you can swap to if they don't have anything to deal with you, but like he's not something you might want to open up with because the default meta picks are just so annoying. So he's chilling between B and C. I don't think he's as bad as Doom or Rein though. I'm gonna put Ball in B. I actually think Zarya is pretty good right now. I'm gonna put Zarya in either A or B+. Zarya is solid against Orisa, solid against Zarya. I see a lot, Drunker Queen. I've seen a lot of people swap to Zarya against Ramatra as well, but she does have very distinct weaknesses. Again, the Pharah, the Echo. She's like dependent on what they pick. You kind of pick her to counter swap, but because Winston is everywhere and Winston does pretty well against like Zarya, we'll keep her in B+. She's low-key A in the good matchups, but like it's hard to like, you know, when she's good, she's really good. But like averaged out with Winston being #1. Oh, also Zarya does shred Diva pretty well too, yeah. I think this is okay to put her in B+. Ashe, still a pretty good hit scan. We'll talk about how Soldier and Sojourn got buffed this patch pretty hard, but Ashe is still like pretty solid. A tier, still a really good hit scan. Great choice to at least keep the echoes down at bay. Bob is still good, or put her here in A tier. Bastion is low-key like a pretty good swap. But the thing in high elo is like when somebody has a Bastion, it cheeses for like a round or two, and then people are like able to adjust pretty fast. I feel like Bastion low-key is actually not bad. Pretty good against Ram, pretty good against Winston. Probably B. Cass, Wanted really believes that Cass is like not good right now, but I don't know, he's still picked a lot. Hinder Nade is still gimmicky. Hinder Nade's been nerfed quite a bit, but Hinder is a pretty good stop to at least the Wrecking Ball and Dooms, but like Cass kind of is not the best in the other matchups. He's kind of just like a solo queue hero. I think the other hit scans do a little better than him. I'm gonna put him in B+. Echo, I think Echo is like one of the top DPSs right now. Every single game right now, there's pretty much an Echo. I'm seriously debating on putting Echo on S tier right now. It's either this, maybe Tracer is still like the top like flex pick, like #1 S pick, and every other like strong DPS is sitting in A+. Would Echo still be S without pocket? Yeah, people don't even play Echo with a Mercy pocket. Echo's so versatile. You can play with Anna Brig. You just have to play a little bit differently, but it's still really good. This is arguable between these two. I think it just depends on who you ask. So I find good Echoes really annoying right now. I'm gonna put her in S for now. Genji's still like okay. I'm gonna put him in B+. Arguably A as well. He's still a pretty decent dive hero. There's a lot of Anas you can nano blade pretty easily, especially with Genji back at 30 ammo. I think actually he's a pretty solid hero. I'm gonna put him in A. Genjis are everywhere. I still see a lot of Genji right now. Hanzo's still pretty solid. He's also a top choice. He's arguably A+, actually. A lot of teams play, what is it, like a Winston, Tracer, Hanzo, or they play the Ramatra comp with a Hanzo. A or A+. I can still switch this. I think Hanzo is a cut above Genji, though, so for that reason, I'm going to put him in A+. Junkrat, there's only like Junkrat 1 tricks and specialists that play him at this current time. Hard to play Junkrat into Diva. Kind of hard. You just have to like flank and play really, play really differently. I think Junkrat's okay. I'm gonna put him in B. He's only like, if you're just like a junk one trick, you're gonna play him no matter what, but he's definitely not like something that people, nobody goes like, can we get a junk right now? Some people will go like, can we get a Hanzo? But nobody's gonna go, can we get a Junkrat? Mei, I still think Mei is really good, especially in the brawl with Ram. She actually got rebuffed. Like in the World Cup, they were playing the weaker version where they first changed it, where it was like the bonus damage on the spray and then like 50 damage bonus on Icicle. They actually buffed the spray back to 70 DPS. So this is, I actually think Mei is still really good as a pick. I don't know why people, in the World Cup, all they do is play Mei. In ranked, people just like don't like playing Mei. I actually think Mei is still really good, but because Echo is in the game, Echo is a top choice. I guess for that reason, Mei can't contest that. And if they just play like full dive, Mei is kind of like useless in those situations. Mei is a bit more map dependent and comp dependent versus Echo that can fit into a lot more. Like if they play Tracer, Sombra, Winston, or they play like, you know, Tracer, Echo, Anna Brig, like Winston, what is Mei gonna do against that? You know what I mean? She's good when she's good. If the comp doesn't work, you have to swap off Mei for the most part. And if the map's not good, so that's there. Pharah is also, the flyers are just kind of dominating right now. Although I will say, unless you're Yazen, I just see way more Echo. I think Yazen swapped off Pharah and he's playing like Echo right now as well, because Echo's just a better flyer because it's less reliant on the Mercy Pocket. Mercy Pocket's good, but I think Pharah's still like pretty solid. With Mercy Pocket, definitely like really annoying and a top tier A choice hero. Without a Mercy Pocket, she's like B. So if we take those into consideration, let's average her out into B+. But assuming you have a Mercy Pocket, A. Without it, B. Average, B+, sure. Quick and dirty tier list. Reaper's fun. Or sorry, not fun. Reaper's boring, excuse me, but doesn't mean he's bad. He's not popular at all in rank because people just don't want to play Reaper. Part of the ranked meta is like partially what people find fun too. You have to think about it that way. This hero is so boring for a lot of people, but Reaper is not a weak hero by any means. He's actually really good against, especially against Ram, against Winston. Like he's definitely like a B+ or an A tier hero, but being boring is not the same as like hero strength and meta. It's a little, this tier list is a little mix of both, right? What's meta and what's actually good. Like, Reaper's a fine choice. Just because he's not played doesn't mean I stick him in D. I'm going to put him in A. I actually think he's really good. Sojourn's a really good DPS again. I see Sojourns all the time right now. Sojourn got the buff with the SMG. The SMG is actually really strong again. It feels really good with a Mercy Pocket. Once again, it means you get faster rails, and high level players can punish really hard once you have like full charge and rail all the time. Sojourn's a top choice. I'm going to put her in A+. Soldier's also like picked all week and a half. Soldier's really good after these buffs. 18 and 19 damage, 130 helix, faster heals, so you can take 1v1s on the biotic field. The Mercy Pocket damage changes breakpoints. It's insane. You can't go wrong into high elo by playing Echo, Hanzo, Sojourn, Soldier, I would say. Some great flexible choices work in a lot of comps. I'm gonna keep Soldier in A+. Sombra's also an A+ hero. Sombra's a fantastic choice as your dive partners with Winston, Tracer. Completely, the fact that Sombra exists makes like 2 of these heroes almost unplayable at this current time. Sombra was destroying my teams the past couple of days. Like yesterday, we lost on Kings Row because like we weren't playing Anna Brig. But I'm gonna put Sombra in A+, arguably S tier. I was gonna reserve that for Tracer. Sombra S. Maybe we put her in S. Yeah, maybe we could put her in S actually. Okay, Symmetra. The big topic of mid-season 5 were these Symmetra changes, right? Where we all thought she got giga buffed. I wouldn't say she's S tier at all. I would still say she's really solid. The 2 tapping on the secondary fire. I definitely saw a surge of Symmetras, but Symmetra is always reserved for people who just like enjoy Symmetra, apart from some players who like to play her on Koth. Top 500 DPS players, like if they never played Symmetra before, it's not like they're gonna randomly play it now. Some of them have it in their arsenal, and they'll almost always at least play a round or 2 of it on control. The change for her helped her in high level play because like it was really cheesy to rely on the sentry turrets. The triple sentry would cheese like lower rank players more, but because they nerfed that damage, 2 tapping people is a lot easier for high rank players anyways with the secondary fire. And remember with Baptiste, you can one shot with the window. Bap is pretty good. If you play a sim comp, especially in King of the Hill or control maps, like a lot of teams will run like Ramatra Brawl, Ramatra, Sim, May, Bap, Lucia. 1 Bap window, 1 secondary fire with 100 damage breakpoint. Boom! And she has tripwires. Yeah, she has info now, so I'm gonna put her in A. I think Sim is pretty good. Torb is also changed. His overload gives him extra ammo. His turret does a little bit less, and his right click, his shotgun got buffed a little bit, right? All those things considered, I still think Torb is... Would you consider Torb a better hero than Cass or Pharah right now? I think they're on the same page. This is yeah, I think Torb is actually still pretty good in high ranks. It's still a really annoying Tracer deterrent to have a turret in the back. I'm never like upset if I ever have a Torb on my team when I play in ranked right now. I don't think Torb is as strong as Sim, so I'll keep it here. Tracer, I still think Tracer is a top S tier choice. Like you can never go wrong with a combination of any of these 3 right now. Okay, Widowmaker nerfed in the beginning of mid-season 5. I actually put Widow in I think C tier in my first season 5 tier list, but I think I was a little overzealous. I still think Widow is pretty good despite the range nerf. She does have to play a little bit closer, but like in top 500, like good Widows will still find a way to like destroy you, right? You do have to play a little bit closer depending on the map, but she's still like good where she's good, but it's still a bit map dependent. B or B+? Sure, B+. I think she's still better than Junkrat. Ana, I'm gonna put Ana in S tier. I actually think Ana Brig might be the strongest 2 supports right now. Bap gets a solid A+. I love flexing onto Bap as well. If I don't have the Ana Brig and like there's no one with me, I just play Bap. I play it with Ram. I play it with Sigma on the Sigma maps. I play it with Orisa. I play Bap with Zarya. I still play it with Junker Queen. I don't play it with Winston, but like it works. He's always solid. This is like a solo queue god. I'm gonna put Bap in A+. I'm actually gonna put Brig in S. I think Brig right now is like essential to deal with all these like freaking Tracers and Winstons. That being said, Brig is still dependent. If they're playing something that you get no value on, like if they're playing if we're playing like a Circuit Royale and it's like a Sigma Bap Zen, you can't play Brig, right? You also don't play Ana there, but those are like very specific scenarios. I still think Brig's been upgraded like crazy, strictly because of the annoying dive you have to deal with. So I'm gonna put her in S. But because she's situational, maybe a slight thing below Ana, true. In solo queue, if we think about it, Ana is a bit more flexible. If your tank randomly decides to like play the counter swap game and they swapped off Winston, and then suddenly the Brig like doesn't work so well, or the enemy team swaps to something where like Brig can do nothing, but Ana is like a flexible option to like still play with any tank and play against most comps, right? So yeah, maybe for that reason we can put her down a tier in A+, but Brig is great right now. Okay, Kiriko got buffed in the mid-season 5 patch. I actually had her in S at the beginning of season 5, but I might have overshot it. I don't think she's S, but she's still like a top tier support choice, right? 120 kunai, Suzu's good. The TP bug though is like bringing her down, but I can't knock her down tiers simply because of a bug, can I? The bug is bad though, I will say. The TP bug needs to be fixed right now. That's one thing that's hurting a lot of her playtime. But I mean, Kiriko is still pretty flexible. Suzu's still great. Is it even a bug? It's a feature, guys, having your TP fail and it going on cooldown. Lucio, still think Lucio's good. So back then when they ran the Winston or the Winston comps, they would play the Kiriko Lucio, but teams are changing to the Anna Brig plus Winston now. But I would still say Lucio's a solid A tier hero. Great with brawl comps if you really want to. Still great with a lot of these options. I think he's still great up here. He's still top 3 tier. Lifeweaver, D. Mercy, I think Mercy is low-key also up here. I had her on like a B+ or A, I think, at least in the lower tiers in the beginning of season 5. I think with the Soldier and the Sojourn buffs and Echo being played, I actually think it's totally fine to play Mercy. Mercy fits simply because these complement her so damn well. Gonna put Mercy in A+, simply because every game has an Echo pretty much. She is still a bit more situational, depending if you do run any of these. Like if you run the Sombra Tracer, you probably shouldn't be playing Mercy. Actually, you should not be playing Mercy if you're running Sombra Tracer. But if you have Echo, Sojourn, Soldier, arguably even Hanzo, Mercy's great. Since she requires a lot of things set up. That's the same reason though for Brig, because you require like a bit of a setup. I know, I can still move her. Moira, for solo queue, good. For ranked, honestly, Lucio Moira is actually something some teams play. I was playing with Akash the other day, top team India tank, and he was just like, yo, just play Moira. We'll play Moira Lucio, and we just like run at them. You just go all in, but it's a bit comp specific. Moira was played so much in World Cup and in contenders. I actually think she's like underrated as hell. People think she's like so bad because no utility, but it's less about having utility. And this is a tier list for like top 500, right? So as long as they're like a good Moira that plays with the team, they know how to like, you know, they can do solo queue TikTok things. She's so survivable. Survivability is huge. Insane self-sustain. As a Tracer, you want to bash your head. You never 1v1 this Moira. It's so annoying as a Tracer player. Any Tracer players here? I feel like I don't play Tracer, but I have a feeling every Tracer player hates going up against Moira. It's just annoying. Healing orb flying around. It's like, oh my god. Stop sucking me off, and it's just tickling me, and I have to go for a health pack. I think Moira is actually pretty good. I'm going to put her in A. I think all of the supports are actually really strong right now. I don't think there's a single bad support. The only one right now, like Zen isn't even bad. He got nerfed in mid-season 5. He's at this current stage, he's only played with like Bap Zen Sigma on like Circuit, Havana, and oh sorry, I lied. Lifeweaver's bad. My bad. Except Lifeweaver. I forget this hero exists. But at least in top 500, I generally right now, unless there is Zen one trick, I don't see Zen at all. At least in the past 9 days of playing this patch in top 500 on NA ladder specifically, unless there is Zen one trick, I only see Zen with Sigma comps on like 4 maps, and that's it. Doesn't mean he's bad though. He's still like good. The fact that he exists makes also Ryan unplayable too. I don't know. He's arguably, I actually think Mercy and Moira and Lucio are better choices than Zen for when you average out all the comps right now. Like Zen just melts from Tracer, Sombra, Echo. I'm gonna put him in B+ relative to the meta, relative to everything else. You play a lot of Zen? Yeah. Sorry, this tier list, once again, let me reiterate, this tier list is for top 500 NA East, my experience in the last 9 days of playing this patch. And that is my personal tier list for what I think is the North American meta. These heroes in B, C, D are definitely the least popular. And then I definitely see everything else a lot more. Everything is, you can argue everything goes up or down one, but that is my take on the mid-season patch. Quick at-a-glance value. All you need to do for tier lists, don't ever look at tier lists and have the tier list make a decision for you on what to play. It will just help you inform what, I guess, players' opinions are, but that should be it. You can play whatever you want. You can even one-trick loose Roadhog and still hit top 500 if you're a good Roadhog. If you're a good Doom, if you're a good Rhine, maybe not Lifeweaver, but if you're good at any of these heroes, you can still one-trick and hit the highest rank in the game, which is top 500. There's plenty of players who do it. Anyways, that's my tier list. Bye-bye.